You're tuned into the world of Midcaps. Let's pull up the stock of Shilpi Cables in trade for you. It's been a good quarter from the company. Profits have jumped by about 5%. The stock reacting positively as well. Let's discuss the quarter gone by. Joining us on the phone line, Manish Bhatt, the CEO at Shilpi Cable Technologies. Morning, Manish. Thank you for taking the time. If you could just run us through the highlights of the quarter gone by, what's worked for the company this time around?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, and thank you for having me here in this channel. So we continue to give the performance in our standalone business, where our growth has been in this quarter of 36% in the top line, and EBITDA has grown by 34%. The PBT, which has grown quarter-on-quarter basis, almost double from 6 crore to almost 13 crore. So our international operation, there is a 20% growth. EBITDA is 23% grown, and PBT has come to 46 crore from 42 crore quarter-on-quarter last year. So overall, if I had to summarize, we continue to give stellar performance in our standalone domestic market. International market is stabilizing now.
Good morning, Manish. This is Hira on this side. If you break up the business in terms of where segments are concerned, you have been catering to auto, telecom, as well as consumer durables. So if you could just tell us, which is the big business segment that is seeing higher traction, and what are the kind of growth levels that you are envisaging when you talk about FY17?
So if you see each of the segment which we are present in, telecom, the RF part continues to be around 20% of our business. Here, though the RF cable, as the technologies are changing, is coming down, but as we are entering into antenna, our overall business size is going to increase. The other segment which has come up is energy segment, which is presently contributing almost 8%, and this is spread across all the segment. Whether it's white good, or telecom or auto, where it goes as a battery cable. This is showing good growth for us. Auto, where is contributing around 14% of our business, where mostly we are present in two-wheeler, but now we started getting approval in four-wheeler. Recently, we have got approval in Tata Motors, which the four-wheeler market itself is around 40% of the market, and where we were not playing till now. So this also augurs well. The biggest is our B2C market, which continues to grow every quarter. Today, we have been supplying our products directly billing in almost 220 to 30 cities. With the distribution network strength we are developing is parallel to the FMCG kind of network. We have introduced more products like switch and MCBs, and we are now going to launch LED products in near future. So also our approvals with various builders and government agencies are coming through. So that definitely augurs well for our B2C growth. Looking at all the segments and the growth potential which we have, I see this growth continuing in coming years.
Manish, a word on your finance cost as well. That's been elevated. What's the debt situation like? Also, there's been an elevation in the tax rate. What's the reason behind that?
Yeah, so if you see our debt, we have a short-term debt of around 200 crores. The trade payables, where 90% of it is LC backed, is around 500 crore. Overall, we have around 600 crore approximately the loan in the domestic, in the Indian operations. We are a full tax paying company, and hence, we are paying the full tax. We have no saving there.
Manish, if what's the kind of top line as well as the bottom line growth that you are targeting by end of FY16? If you club in all the opportunities that you have in the telecom space, we have the 4G launch that is expected. Additionally, even the railway space, what's the kind of incremental revenue growth that you are looking at? Because even the government has decided to electrify the entire 65,000 kilometer railway route, out of which, if I'm not mistaken, 24,000 kilometers is already done. So what's the opportunity for you, and what growth levels are you looking at?
So our target, as we have said, is become a $1 billion company by 2020. I think we are cruising well in that direction. I continue to see that we keep growing at the pace of growth at which we have been growing, because each of our segment, as I explained you earlier, gives immense opportunity. But just to focus on few, one obviously the railway, where we are entering into this catenary wire, which is a huge opportunity. And second is the B2C segment, where whether it's distribution, product line enhancement, or approvals in various agencies put together, I think there's a big growth engines.
Lastly, before we let you... Okay. Yeah, continue, Manish.
Yeah, and of course, all the government-led projects, whether it's infrastructure-led and House for Everyone by 2022, smart cities, all this will definitely augur well for us, because we have product to, participate in each of these initiatives.
And Manish, before we let you go, if you could just give us a word in terms of, the promoters had been reducing their stake. If I'm not mistaken, in Q3, it came down to 36%. Again, right now, we've seen an increase, and that number has come in at 41.19. So how much of the promoter shareholding is currently pledged? Because earlier, if I'm not mistaken, it was close to 75%. What are the plans that you're working with? Any more pledges also on the radar?
So if you see, we have 75% pledged, but they are mostly pledged to the banks. It's not pledged anywhere, and that too as a collateral for the working capital. There is no pledging anywhere else of the share. So we are also going to the bank and asking them to now reduce this pledging. But right now the stake of promoter is almost 41%, as you said, because some of the warrants have been converted, 80 lakhs. And another 17 lakhs will get converted this year, which will take their stake to 45 to 46%. Plus 10% is held by the trust, which is owned by the company. So that's how this shares are with the promoters.
Right, Manish, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you for speaking to us this morning as management of Shilpi Cable. If you just see the one-year chart on that, it's been a marked outperformer, 159% gain on the stock. Potent growth drivers for the company ahead, including electrification of the railway tracks, as well as opportunity from the smart city project. Let's also connect with the management of Kohinoor Foods. It has turned profitable for